Welcome, everybody, to this edition of A Dose of Financial Resilience. I'm Ken Smith, your host, the managing editor of Building Financial Resilience for an Uninsurable Future, the impact of climate change on personal finance and the wealth of the nation. Today, we're going to be running through the introduction to the book. I hope you stick with us all the way to the end, as we're going to be offering a special discount code to the book, the electronic version, to podcast listeners only. Today, we're going to be talking about inevitable surprises, those events that surprise us, even when, in fact, the information we need to predict exactly what's going to happen is right there in plain sight. Now, it should come as no surprise that 76% of home insurance customers said that damage from severe weather events was the number one risk to their home. This was a 2023 survey by Chubb Insurance, and it shows that people are well aware of the risks. The question is, what can we do about it? The first data point that leads us to a future inevitable surprise is the fact that rising temperatures mean more severe storms. During just December of last year and January of this year, we saw more than 6 storms that dropped more rain and snow and higher seas and waves and colder temperatures than storms during similar periods in prior years. These were supposed to be just average storms, but they created more damage across the country than ever before. From the Florida Panhandle to the coast of Rhode Island to the Oregon coast to the upper Midwest, severe weather is affecting every part of the country. And the cost of severe weather events is also rising. 2024 will be the year the personal financial impact of climate change will come into sharp focus. If your home is damaged, the cost of materials and equipment have risen sharply since the pandemic. The cost of construction services have risen, and in an emergency, the cost of everything goes up because of basic supply and demand economics. What we're already starting to see is, for many people, the best option may be to move to a safer place. What we also know for a fact is that while saving rates among Americans skyrocketed during the pandemic, as soon as the pandemic was declared over, most people actually spent their savings, and the saving rates have not recovered. If you own a home valued at $500,000 or more, and you get wiped out by a major storm, FEMA flood insurance caps out at only 50% of the value of that property. Entire neighborhoods may be affected. Your property value, your neighbor's property value, and eventually you may have no other option. So what can you do to be more financially resilient to climate change? Well, first, create and update a 5 and 10-year financial plan that assumes at least one severe weather event that causes major damage to your home, and assume that you will get zero coverage from insurance. Second, optimize insurance coverages where you can find them. In some cases, for example, if you've got a collection of artwork, you may be able to put that under special insurance coverage. You may be able to get an umbrella policy or something to that effect. Talk to your insurance agent and see what the other options are besides just traditional homeowners insurance, which usually does not include flood insurance. Lastly, invest time and money in severe weather event cost mitigation. It doesn't have to be a hurricane or a tornado. It can simply be a much heavier rainstorm than you've ever had before. Make sure your downspouts are clear, make sure your runoff is larger than it's ever been, and make sure that your gutters can handle that rain. Otherwise, you may see backup flooding. That's the introduction to the book. We're going to encourage everybody to go and get the book, take a quick look at it. It's a relatively quickly read, but as somebody said, this may be the most important book homeowners read and the most important discussion that you have with your family this year. And if you want to get the electronic copy of the book, go to smashwords.com, search for Building Financial Resilience for an Uninsurable Future, and there's the discount code there. Write that down now, MP66H, and you'll get a 25% discount off of the electronic version of the book. Thank you very much. We appreciate your listening, and we look forward to seeing you next time.